There's a new situation coming up. There's a new situation. Look at this. There's a new situation regarding Logan Paul. Let's look at that.
Logan Paul is
Sign up. Thank you,
people he
Slicky.
scammed if they promise to stop suing him for the vastly larger amount he may owe them. And honestly, I'm conflicted because on the one hand, victims getting money is always great. And I'm proud that our investigation led to some real world consequences.
So if you don't know, Logan Paul basically did a crypto scam where you had like eggs that could hatch up and become like different Pokemons and stuff like that. It was like a crypto scam. What essentially happened is that those eggs never worked and he just took a lot of money from people and stole it, and then he said he would refund them later on after it becoming a controversy. But then it's been like over a year after he said that, and he has not given anybody any money back. But now he's gonna pay everyone back, and the reason for that is because all of those people that have been scammed has sort of prepared a big lawsuit against them. And if they do get their money back, it will sort of scratch them out of that part of the lawsuit, and they cannot be a part of it or claim any of it because he's giving back the money. So they're out of the loop. But overall, I think it's good that somebody's doing something legally. But overall, the people that are dealing with this and want to have a refund and don't want to give a shit about any lawsuit and stuff, they just want to be done and get some money back. This is probably a good thing for them.
But I can't pretend that things are fixed or fine for
Coffeezilla,
people who
yeah.
trusted me with their story when that's just not true. So
You told me my
here's
eggs would
the
make
real,
millions.
more complicated
Yeah.
story in 3 parts: the refund offer, the zoo tokens, the lawsuit, starting with the most important part. And if you get one thing from this story, this should be it. These are the estimated damages in CryptoZoo, $18.5 million, which comes from a combination of ZooCoin and NFT sales. And then this much smaller percentage of that pie is what Logan is actually offering to refund, on the condition, though, that all of the people who spent the last year suing him for the larger damages drop their case. So that's a refund of only 12% to drop 100% of the case that, as far as I can tell, Logan may be losing. Put in that light, then, this
He may be losing.
refund starts to look less like a good faith attempt to make things right and more like a cynical bargaining chip to avoid getting in even more trouble. And a careful look at these refunds conditions show that Logan is even less serious of a person you may give him credit for. Logan is offering only a 1-month claim window for this refund, given a year after waiting, and hidden in this wall of text is the most shocking part, which is that he's not releasing the CryptoZoo game at all, which I know we all kind of knew that, but
Won't he be forced to do that if it becomes an actual case in court? I believe he will need to present the evidence. He will need to present the earnings. I assume he will be.
is actually insane, because that's the thing. To be clear, he's sold millions of dollars of NFTs for and tens of millions of dollars of in-game CryptoZoo tokens for. I knew he wasn't going to make it, right? We all get that. But I watched for 3 years as Logan's fans, and that's what these investors were. They were fans of Logan Paul. They spent 3 years begging this guy to make this game. And the entire time, he told them he was working on it. And I thought, even at my most pessimistic, that Logan would at least crap out some abomination that he described as a game that limped past our lowest collective expectations. But I was wrong. I mean, I wasn't wrong the first time he said I was wrong when he said he was going to still finish the game. I was wrong that he was going to do it at all.
That is the most surprising thing I find. Like, he's making a lot of money because of Prime Energy Drink. He's a successful content creator, and he has this one thing that is clearly a scam and is out there. Is that money really worth it for him to perhaps go to jail and have like a big lawsuit going in his direction? Is that really worth it? Like, why can he not just make the game and properly and then cancel it out like a bit after time or something? Like, what's up with this? I don't understand. Or why can he not just refund everybody? Is that money that much worth it to ruin everything? I don't feel like it's not.
Even after 12 months of work, you've still managed to overlook one crucial piece of information. See, even though I've said it's coming so many times, you've assumed that CryptoZoo isn't being made. Who are you to decide when the development timeline ends? Trust me, CryptoZoo is coming. I will make damn sure of it.
Oops. So much for making damn sure of it because there's no game. This is what makes this such a massive con. This guy sold millions in NFTs, tens of millions of Zoo tokens, and he's not even going to release the thing he promised this whole time. This is why it's such a slap in the face. These investors spent 3 years waiting for a game. Not only that, 2 years waiting for an update, which he never gave, and then a year suing him. And after
even if he did this now as a loss, it would still benefit him in the end. Like, he has a successful businesses, successful content creation position. There's no reason for him to like keep that money. Like, yeah, sure, you can keep it, but I think it will just ruin him in the end. Like, he has amazing deals. He should not really worry about this at all. I don't understand it. It's better that he loses that money and is at a loss on that than he keeps going with it, because honestly, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, because it might not punch him right now, but when it does punch him, it's going to punch him hard.
all of that, all he offers is a 12% refund, no game, 30 days to accept. So look, Logan's already taking heat for making good on a promise that he made a year late, but that's not even true. He's not making good on this promise because it's not the same promise. Last year, what he promised was no strings attached buyback and you get a game. This year, it's please drop your lawsuit and you don't get a game, which is incredible to me that there are influencers out there like KSI parading this around like a win for Logan Paul, like he's some sort of hero for offering a year late half-baked settlement offer. KSI says, what will the haters say now? I don't know. How about where's the game? Where's the art? Where's the millions invested? Where's the motivation for this tweet? Oh, wait. KSI is a co-founder with Logan and Prime. So, of course, that makes KSI Logan's new biggest fan. But seeing as how Logan treats...
Just one sec. Are we not in just chatting? Is like Twitch fucking up? I've updated my status like... I've updated my thingy like 3 times now. Is it not working? No. I have... Dude, what is wrong with Twitch today? I have updated it. Let me refresh. Let me actually close my whole browser. What is going on? Okay. Finally. Jesus Christ. Dude, what is going on with Twitch sometimes?
Don't say I didn't warn you. So that's part one.
Twitch has been fucked all night? Oh, okay.
Zoo tokens. Remember, there were...
Because I was like updating it, the title and everything like 3 times, and it didn't work. It's so weird.
The Zoo tokens and egg NFTs. Now, the tokens were the vast amount of damages that were actually caused, while the NFT sales were much lower. Logan conveniently wants to refund this much smaller part of his game, the NFTs, while pretending that these Zoo tokens were never a real part. They were just gambling. Now, this was sort of less bad when the game was still going to come out. Morning, Drix.
Thanks for the help. No problem, man.
These tokens, but
sorry that I saw the message a little late. My DMs, my Discord DMs are way too spammed, so I apologize if I'm late with responding. It is because of the moderator and the factor of the wall guild stuff. There's a lot of messages coming through, so sometimes I see things a little bit late.
No sense at all. From Logan's statement, this buyback is a way for me to make whole those who intended to play CryptoZoo. The buyback is not intended to compensate those who gambled on the crypto market and lost. So he's describing people who bought his in-game currency as gamblers. But that's confusing, because the whole point of these Zoo tokens was to buy the egg NFTs and play the game.
The problem I have with this is actually just simple. People aren't even going to get all of their money back. Exactly. The problem is that they bought something that is meant to be in a game, but this thing doesn't exist. The game doesn't exist. The functionality they were promised within the game does not exist and not gonna ever exist. It's been many, many years. It's been 3 years or something like that, and it's still not out there. So isn't the normal and the most typical action forward to just refund the whole percentile back, because they are purchasing something and they're not receiving it? That's like the most regular thing that we currently have of systems when it comes to money and refunds. You purchase something. If I go buy If I go and buy a grill and there's no grill ever showing up, I get my money back 100%. I don't get 12% of the money. I get it 100% right away back. And the same goes with these thingies in this game and these eggs. If they bought something specific, they never receive it, then isn't it the most normal source of action just 100% refunding them? I don't get why he's playing a game. I just don't get why he's trying to play a game and move around this, because it's not going to really benefit him in the long end. Like, is it that worth it? I'm just so confused.
Game. That's literally how it worked according to him. So instead, he calls people gamblers, despite also saying, quote, Zoo Token was created to support the Crypto Zoo game and its players. It was, quote, not intended to be an investment vehicle. So how can he say that, then turn around and say people who bought this were gambling if it's not an investment? How can
I think that if this goes into court, he's just fucked. He's screwed himself too much. There's too much evidence with him backpedaling and retracting this and going back and forth. There's just too much. He's just screwed.
You refund people who intended to play Crypto Zoo if you don't refund people who bought the token that was, quote, created to support the Crypto Zoo game. You can't. It makes no sense. And this is why I say this isn't even close to a full refund. And now that he's abandoning the game, what we actually have is millions of dollars of in-game currency Logan sold that he won't pay back. Which brings us to the final part of this story. The third part, the lawsuit. After telling all his fans that they were gamblers who lost, Logan has one final surprise. He says, quote, I have filed a lawsuit in federal court in Texas to hold these bad actors accountable, people who ruin CryptoZoo. But what Logan doesn't tell you is that Texas lawsuit is something he's being sued in already. He's a defendant in the lawsuit that he links in his tweet. He's just cross-suing his co-defendants. Like, he's already being sued, and he's just re-suing the same guys who are already being sued. And who are these secret bad actors Logan's going to hold accountable anyways? Turns out it's his employees he hired, Eddie Ibanez and Crypto King, which...
Okay.
all of us already knew because I investigated the story a year ago.
Yeah.
But imagine my surprise when Logan Paul tries to rewrite my investigation to pretend he did all the work himself.
I mean, that's just exactly the type of character I'd assume Logan Paul is now. Like, he took your work and put his name on it. He's just like, yeah, that's it. Oh, Logan did a great job there. Wow.
CryptoZoo, while simultaneously trying to erase his part in it. He says, and I find this very funny because I spent a year on that story, quote, this lawsuit is the result of an exhaustive investigation.
The problem is that in even that research, it is presented that Logan is trying to scam his audience. So I'm not sure he can really put his name on it. Yeah, he needs to remove himself completely out of the picture, but that's kind of hard to do.
That included the review of the entirety of conversations. You'd be forgiven to think he was quoting my investigation. He's not. He copied it and tried to rewrite it to make himself look good. In this lawsuit, he says things like, hey guys, turns out Eddie Ibanez's entire backstory was a fabrication, including the MIT
Hi,
NFL
Milk. How you doing, buddy?
Can you believe it? It's like, yeah, we know. And then he goes, yeah, well, you won't believe what I discovered. Crypto King secretly sold tokens.
No way.
Yeah, we know. Logan just
no
shamelessly
way
rips off my work claim for claim without citing me. I mean, he says things like, Mr. Greenbaum would later admit that he made millions of dollars through his surreptitious sales of Zoo tokens. But where did Logan find that admission? Was it perhaps when he investigated my video? Time and time again,
our calling is down though south now. Oh, enjoy that minus 26.
To cite it. So they even have to say things like based on public reports. What public report? Mr. Ibanez made approximately $1.7 million from selling Zoo tokens. I could swear I've heard that before. And for my calculations, he made about $1.7 million. Now look, I don't usually mind people using my work, but it's kind of a little strange that Logan...
It's a little bit strange whenever he's using the work that is against him. And he's using it to defend himself, but just scratches out himself of that investigation. That's the funny part.
is simultaneously trying
Like the whole video is about him. It's not about these other people. It's about him.
to discredit my work, saying
It's
this lawsuit
ballsy,
is not
honestly.
based
Yeah,
on
it is
snippets of
ballsy.
conversation taken out of context, a snipe at my investigation.
Like the people you're fighting against, it's not like this is secret information. Coffeezilla's video is not like hidden. It is right there. It's out there. Anybody can use it. If everything you're using is literally just Coffeezilla's video where he's going against you, and you're trying to use the evidence that are regarding other people to defend yourself, then they can just backtrack all of it to literally snipe you back. The problem is that there is a situation of defense and accusing and finding a definitive fact that people will put themselves in, and the court hearing will decide what's going to happen. Whenever every fact you're presented has a defense metric to it from the other factors, you are not getting anywhere with it. You're just fucked.
Well, then stealth quoting it to pretend that they did any real legwork. And look,
It's
if you
public
found that
information,
shameless
yeah.
that he tries to steal my work and pass it off as his own investigation, this next part gets even worse. Because Logan's story this
Let me just
whole
copy it
time
real quick.
has been that it's all other people's fault.
Yeah.
You know, it's just bad acting.
I'm a good
Everyone but
guy.
him was bad.
Logan
He was
is a
always
good
wrong.
man.
But his timeline contradicts him. According to his investigation,
Yeah.
which is actually my investigation, in August and October of 2021, he learns that Jake Greenbaum and Eddie Ibanez are bad news, and he kicks them out of his team. So what does he do after that? He's gotten rid of the bad actors. Can't blame them anymore, right? Does he make CryptoZoo? No. For a full year before I made my video, Logan Paul had full control over his project. He admits it in his own lawsuit. And he did nothing. He said nothing. So how does he avoid accountability now? Well, enter the whipping boy Jeff. That's right. Manager Jeff is making one last appearance. Logan blames Jeff for screwing up September 2021 through 2022. But you know what he doesn't mention? What he'll never mention? The real reason the project didn't get back on track is not because of Eddie, not because of Crypto King, but because Logan's own team stopped paying developers who are working on rebuilding the game. So those people stopped working on CryptoZoo. And
Makes
that's when I
sense.
found it. The game was dead. It had been dead for months.
Mhm.
And that's when I made a big stink out of it. Meaning, it was 100% within Logan's power to save this game. I'm not saying nobody else did bad things, but Logan ultimately had over a year to launch it, to make things right, and he didn't.
The thing is that even if you just fix the game, I don't think people will give a shit, right? Like people are, it's like, yeah, you will have somebody being like, fuck Logan, he did this, blah, blah, blah. But like, if he just made the game, like after this video, if he just like finished the production, like half a year later or something, he was done with it. I don't think people would backtrack and like go against him that much. I think it will be fine. I just, Logan has all the power and still has to just fix this. I mean, I don't know if he has that much power now that they've gone to the court case and everything going on with him. He's getting sued from left and right, but you know, he did have all the powers to solve everything from the beginning and even after these accusations.
For financial reasons. Not because someone backstabbed
People came
him,
for
they just didn't wanna
profit,
spend
not
the
for the
money.
game. True, sure. People did come for profit and not for the game, but still, it doesn't matter because he sold a product. He sold an item. People purchased that item. That item has not been given. That item does not exist. This game does not exist. So in the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They didn't buy a cryptocurrency. They bought a egg within that is related to cryptocurrency. So this egg has a functionality. They have had a targeting, a sale pitch for this egg that it's meant to do something. This egg does not exist. This egg does not do anything. The problem here is that he has promised an item and sold that item. It does not exist. So you're fucked.
To make things right. And you know what? That is still true now. It is still 100% within Logan
Like the
Paul's power
Quinfall?
as a near
Isn't Quinfall
billionaire
out?
prime to make things right, fully right with
I have
his
no idea
fans
about Quinfall.
he scammed. And if he did, gave
Always
full
looked like a
baseline,
shit game to
we would
me.
all celebrate. Me foremost. But will he? Or will he try to dodge responsibility, cheap out, rip his fans off, and avoid accountability? I think it's the latter. So, those are the 3 main points. You're all caught up. To recap, part 1, refunds. They're being used as a bargaining chip to drop a lawsuit, and so he never has to produce this game,
that's
which
the
has been
problem,
promised
yeah.
for 3 years, and he's sold tens
The
of
thing
millions.
is that he can backtrack on who's purchased them. But like, he doesn't know if he sold them or not. Maybe he does. I don't know. But the thing is that people have sold them. Like, I think the damages is too far done. I'm saying that now there's no way to solve it. I mean, you could do something to make it a little bit less worse, but people have already sold them, etc., etc. What I'm saying is that after these accusations, he had, and even before them, he had all the power in his hand to solve this and make it less of a big deal than it is. But now, because of the long stretch of time he has waited and how long it's taken, people have sold, some have sold it, some are still holding on to it, some people are suing him. So it's already too late to fix it.
Of dollars for. Part 2 is the zoo tokens. He's pretending they're not for a game that they definitely were for to avoid refunding people.
It's
when
like
in
an
fact he
NFT
admits
game.
they were
Oh, really? It is.
Part 3
I didn't
is
know
the
what it
lawsuit,
was.
where he stole my investigation, tried to pass it off as his own, but just cuts out the part where he did everything wrong and leaves out the entire year where he was solely in charge of the project. No bad actors. He could have fixed everything, but he didn't because he's cheap and doesn't want to pay anybody. Anyway, I hope that catches you up with what's been going on, and I hope we as a community can have the nuance and complexity to hold in our minds 2 things at the same time as true. 1, it's always good if victims get any money back, and we should celebrate that. However, number 2 is that doesn't mean we can't fight for 100% of what they deserve. And Logan Paul is not a hero for doing this or making things right. He's a serial scammer who's offering a minority refund as a last-ditch effort to save his wallet and his reputation.
I think he's just scummy. He's so scummy that even if he's very successful and has multiple has other businesses and other things that are gaining him revenue, he's still just being a cheap ass. I just don't get it. I just can't put myself in the mindset of him. It's just so weird. It's just that weird. I don't get it. But you know, I mean, Logan Paul does whatever Logan Paul does. I mean, I think it's a little bit too late, but I don't understand how he still has a fan base. I guess the only people watching him are either like super diehard fans, or just generally they're just kids. Because it doesn't make sense. This is ridiculous how anybody can work with this man. But yeah, I've seen my fair share of people fandom and you know, parasocialism, even beyond ignoring anything a bad actor has done. But yeah, this is sick. It's just stupid to me. It's just so dumb. Like, it's so dumb. Oh my god.